Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at subject-verb agreement on the SAT writing and language section. As always, we're going to be going through 5 questions. We're going to explain them and look at the intricacies of these questions so that you understand this topic and are ready to ace the SAT writing section. If you like these videos or find them informative, please be sure to like and subscribe. And with that, let's get started on our first question. Here it is. Although they were devastating, the London fire of 1666 and the Chicago fire of 1871 ultimately was resulting in positive change. They effectively wiped out archaic and dangerous constructions, enabling the development of more modern cities. So it says ultimately was resulting in positive change. That sounds weird, right? So it says, let's think about how we can rephrase that without looking at answer choices. So ultimately results or ultimately resulted in positive change, right? So we see it resulted and results, so we have to figure out which one of those it is. We can cross out our other answer choices, right? And then let's see. Although they were devastating, the London fire of 1666 and the Chicago fire of 1871 ultimately resulted in positive change. That sounds to work better. That seems to work better than although they were devastating, the London fire of 1666 and the Chicago fire of 1871 ultimately results in positive change. That doesn't make sense. So our answer is B, and we can move on to the next question. A few daring students, led by a senior who would miraculously still graduate a few months later, was playing leapfrog outside the window of a room while a cameraman were recording the dean's lecture. Alright, so still graduate a few months later, were playing, or it seems that it should be like were playing or something like that, because this is plural, daring students. So it should be were playing. So it should be were playing, as that correctly utilizes the plural version of this word was here, and effectively says this is still they were playing leapfrog during the dean's lecture. So it's still present tense here, but it's were playing. So that makes it the past tense, and it also makes it plural as we need. So that is our answer. And let's move on to the next question. Question 3. Investigators at the Worldwide Crime Agency found Carmen Sandiego to be the most elusive criminal of all time. That one seems to work there, so let's pick A and let's see what else we have. Investigators finds Carmen Sandiego. Well, no. Investigators is finding Carmen. No. Investigators was finding Carmen Sandiego. No. It's investigators found Carmen Sandiego. I'm taking out this part because we don't need it. Investigators found Carmen Sandiego to be the most elusive criminal of all time. So our choice is A. And we can move on to the next question. Set during the Great Depression, the Grapes of Wrath are. No. Grapes of Wrath is a singular, it's a one novel, so it's going to be is. It's not were, because that's also plural. It's not are, because that's plural. Grapes of Wrath had been a novel? No, that just doesn't work. So our answer is choice D, and we can move on to the next question. Only one of the 3 girls noticed when a shooting star streaked across the sky. Notice seems to work there. Let's see, like only one of the 3 girls have noticed. Doesn't seem to work. Were noticing? No, that just sounds weird. Only one of the 3 girls notice. No. Doesn't make sense. Again, see that noticed makes sense, but also you can see that noticed and streaked. That tells us that both of them are in the past tense. That's why we have this ed at the end. So we know that this has to also be ed since we're in the past tense right here. So that's our answer. And that is it for subject-verb agreement in this topic. As you can see, the main idea here is just to find the singular versus plural and match them up together so that it all flows correctly. That's it for this topic, and I'll see you next time.